Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Call of Duty World League. It's the third game of the day, and this could be a spicy one. Optic Gaming versus Enigma6. Benson and Chance to guide you through it. Of course, we've had a couple of different caster pairs so far today, Chance, so we've got to be on our A game, otherwise you never know. Jess could be taking our job.
I'm nervous. Like, I've been doing this for like 4 years now. They did it for 2 minutes, and in that 2-minute span, they were like just god tier. Like, they have made not even improvements. They just started out at a high level. I'm nervous, man. I don't like this at all.
I don't want to say this, but Jess probably would have beat you in the cast-off, Chance. Sorry about that.
I mean, honestly, but possibly, yeah.
Probably. But I would like to say a massive welcome to Dashy. He's finally here. Finally. It's crazy to think this is actually his first time so far this season actually in Columbus, Ohio, playing for his actual squad. But there he is, ready and waiting to go. He is here. It isn't an April Fool's. It isn't a hologram. Dashy is here.
Yeah, Border Patrol is off their game. They let him through this time. They snuck on through. And so obviously, like, Optic, you know, plays top 12 at Fort Worth. Not, well, horrible by their standards performance. Even still, Dashy was god tier. Like, he didn't slow down a bit. Number 2 overall, AKD is Dashy is still Dashy. He is still the hairful maven, whatever you want to call him. So if you're coming into this series, he hasn't slowed down a single bit. If you want to highlight a player, you can always talk about the guy. He's a beast.
He's been so good throughout the year, and it's great to have him finally here at the Columbus Arena. But on the flip side, a squad we should touch on, Chance, Enigma6, a team that, you know, last event come out, they get a top 6 placing, and it kind of came out of nowhere to a lot of people. They're a team I've often said, you know, keep your eye on them. Even go back to the PLQ, I said, this is a team which I think gets to the Pro League. But in your mind now, Chance, what do they have to do? Because I know there's a couple of conversations where maybe, oh, they got a little bit blessed at Fort Worth.
Blessed is not the right way to phrase it, but if you like talk about what they have to improve on, hardpoint is the easy answer. They were like 3 and 7, so they had to clutch up a lot of search and destroys. They had to win a couple game 5s, and I think a big thing for me is when I look at this team is I don't think E6 is capable of winning a tournament yet.
Okay.
And the reason I say that is because it's not a bless for top 6, but when they played against your Luminosity, they played against 100 Thieves twice, they got bullied out. Like, they lost to 100 Thieves, and 100 Thieves was playing with Pharaoh. Granted, they were down 2-0 in the series before the swap happened, but even then, they're not quite good enough to just outright beat some of those tippy top teams. So, of course, if Optic Gaming is off their game, E6 can absolutely take them down. But I haven't seen enough for E6 to be like they're consistently going to beat those best teams in the world. But, again, if their hard points cleaned up, if they start making improvements there, that's when that team is elite.
Which is interesting, because at the start of the year, when they kind of joined the Pro League, their first couple of games, the big weakness was search and destroy. I mean, you think back to Kisnet's unbelievable performances, unbelievable stats back at the PLQ. You didn't really get that here at the Pro League. Finally, it seems like that has been sorted out. And honestly, I'm excited to watch this E6 squad. Of course, there was a quick glance at the maps for this series. Anything jump out to you there statistically or by the numbers?
I'm going to be honest, I didn't even look at the maps. Didn't pay a single bit of attention to it. Actually, no, I think the Seaside hardpoint was number 1, but all that does to me is think of all like the clutch flashbacks you had, like from Optic Gaming, where it doesn't matter how much they're down by, maybe they can make a comeback. So
150, doesn't matter.
Just keep an eye on that. If E6 goes up by 100 points or the other direction, maybe we already know it's never going to be over.
Not over till it's over, that's for sure. We've seen unbelievable comebacks throughout the year from a lot of different teams, not even just Optic Gaming on this map. And I feel like, were we not talking about this last week? We haven't seen a hardpoint Seaside for quite some time.
I think even Seaside control.
Just Seaside control,
yeah, it seems, I don't know, maybe like back and forth. I don't think it's like one of the maps that teams opt not to play always. Like, I'm sure there's certain teams that just ban it almost automatically, but I just think it's one of those trends. Like, you play enough control, and then some teams start to like lose whatever control map they want to play. They got to mix things up. What's the map we haven't played? Seaside, let's get that in the mix. So I think it's going to be a little bit back and forth, but yeah, a little more Seaside.
Okay, fair enough. Well, you can see the players, fist bumps, they're ready to go. Map number 1, loading in. I wouldn't even bother asking you predictions, because I have a feeling I already know what you would say for this one. For E6, they've got to come out with a strong map 1 as Coach Teep leaves the stage. Optic Gaming ready to go. The Seaside, map number 1. And I guess what I will ask you more specifically here is in terms of players. Which players from E6, or player specifically, do you think has to come out with that good showing? Who are you looking at really? Maybe not to have the most, kills, maybe not to statistically impress, but to do the right thing consistently to beat Optic Gaming here in map 1.
It's a pretty good question. I mean, I think Chino was kind of like the automatic response just because new guy on the team. If you want to talk about Dashy, look at the Maddox counterpart. But I think more importantly, it's like what, Diabolic and Kismet for me. It's can those guys have big games? Because Frosty especially, he's the guy that can drop 40 on you, but he's also the guy that can go double negative, which understandable. New guy to Call of Duty, but he needs to start out hot or else you get 5-man wiped and Optic Gaming straight in the hill.
Yeah, not the best start there by any means, as Dashy was able to find one before Kismet with the instant trade. But Optic Gaming still with control of the first hill. Keep your eye on the spawns as well. It's going to be important. It's Optic with a split spawn right now, but Krim actually can be very, very important here for Optic Gaming just to make sure he stays alive for as long as he can. If he can cherry pick a couple of kills, that's going to aid their rotation.
Of course, Krim is just going to push for the hill pinch. They're debating on back and forth. Knows they're spawning behind. Is waiting to get the right timing, but timing he does not need. Just straight up shuts down Diabolic. But new spawn's definitely going to be coming in for E6, who are down by just a very small amount, so not a bad spot for them to be in at all. Kismet pushed very far up. Even if he gets traded, he has a teammate there. In general, watching the back. So far, so good on Seaside Hardpoint. Of course, though, for E6, well, nobody's in the hill.
Yeah, but this is a good opportunity to maybe pick up a bit of time here, build themselves a little bit of a lead. Of course, the score so close after just one hardpoint, 24-19, but E6 are slowly but surely chipping away at that lead, and they will take the lead here themselves if Frosty was able to stay alive. And flies Karma from the back. 35 seconds still on the second hill, and Optic, they've broken through.
Yeah, it's a potential wasted opportunity coming in from E6, but of course Optic just forcing their way through. But you talk about forcing it through, Kismet picks up 2, they come right back. General gets 2 of his own, and Scump it by himself in the hill. Takes 2 with him, but it might not make too much of a difference because all that scrap time, well, not scrap time, ton of time going to E6.
The most important thing here are kills in transition. If E6 is able to find a couple, Optic will be spawning so far out. Of course, Scump spawned out. He's contesting the old hill. Big win from Chino. Karma's going to have to watch his kill cam, pray his teammates win a couple of those fights. Where is Karma going to spawn? Bad news for him. That is Dashy spawning all the way out. A couple of teammates spawning over towards P1 as well. A good break and good rotation from E6.
And potentially brutal for the side of Optic Gaming. If they're not able to break through, they're going to find themselves down by a nice chunk of time. Kismet essentially watching the wraparound back and doesn't even need to anymore. His teammates all are able to kill one person apiece. Diabolic, of course, gets those final 2. And once again, Optic Gaming spawning wrong side of the map. Scump is busy trying to hunt down, who is it, Kismet he's looking for. The timing ends up working out in his favor, wins the gunfight, just needs to stay alive while he waits for his teammates, and waiting he is, but the kill's going the way of E6, and it's just so tough to force it through. Crim6 is going to fall, and well, Scump is able to get that first kill, gets no help, and all the time to E6.
And here's the problem. Diabolic for E6 is pushed all the way through. Bowels ready and waiting on the rotation, and he was 225 away from streaks. Needed to win that, as did Chino, but Optic Gaming there on the rotation, winning some pretty miraculous gunfights. Not gonna lie, as Dashy picks up 2, Karma with 1. E6 had a great opportunity to snowball this game. If a couple of those fights go differently, and maybe they get the initial time here, this lead could have been about 100 plus.
Well, every hill is a money hill, of course, for this one. E6, they're able to get through very, very quickly. Of course, Dashy's by himself. He's got to wait for his teammates, and E6 have fully stacked at least the backside of this hill. All the pressure's coming in the front. Karma's going to be the first one in. He's able to find 1, helps Dashy to get 2. He finds the second one himself, and Optic Gaming respond very quickly. And of course, Dashy just 120 points off his streaks, 1 kill, and he'll be good for at least the Lightning, and there it is.
That's what you shall receive. There's the Lightning. 1 more for the Hellstorm. Yep, get that as well. Close towards the Tempest, and gets the Tempest. Dashy just doing Dashy-like things. 15 seconds left. I doubt you're going to see E6 push that as TJ goes for a bit of a chest bump there with Frosty, but Frosty gets the better of him as the Hellstorm comes in. That's going to find 1. It was Chino inside the hill. Dashy still aiding his teammates on rotation despite being nowhere near the new hill.
Yeah, bad information right now from TJ. Of course, Frosty was last spotted in yellow. He moved, but took a fist to the face. More streaks coming out to force his player in bad spots. Dashy, by the way, on an 11 spree. Hasn't slowed down, and he's getting the hill time. Has the Tempest as well.
Oh, use it.
If he wants it, but he's doing it with the Maddox. Eventually does get shut down, and, well, if he had to use it, there was a couple players there.
Yeah, a couple players very, very close as Optic slowly but surely locking in the first hill. There's grab some used by Kismet, but this seems like a good time now to throw it over to an Optic Gaming. Astro listening.
Oh, yo,
Take a one shot.
Outer weak. 2 here. They push it out.
Already here.
Yo, they might push pots.
Watch him mid.
Come on, two mortal. One's mid.
Back.
One more, push it through church.
Yeah, I'm holding orange. I'm trying to hold banana.
Tiny got me, General.
You have that?
General's tiny.
Yo, they're in
One's
new.
orange. I got one
Nice,
orange.
two.
Nice.
Hots, one shot, Sheen. War Machine, I think. War Machine dead, I kill War Machine.
Yeah, nice.
One more.
Just one.
They could be in barrels. Could be barrels.
Yeah.
Spawn here. I got him.
Two more banana. Two banana.
Hold.
You still.
I've got barrels.
I got the
I hit them. They have flak. I'm backing up.
He naded me.
Stunned your right, T, just stunned your right.
One guy can push the
Stunned my right, full step back,
Yeah,
full step back,
he did.
T.
He went all the way around, Brandon. He's back Fred.
One
Long.
Nice. We saw him in the back.
Two barrels, last two barrels.
And I'm picking up church.
One's long, left side. Nice, good job.
Picking up church.
We spawned back.
Holding right. I'm holding right door.
I'm holding your back. I'm holding your right van.
I'm about to push this.
Alright. One's front. General,
White
watch
van.
out.
White van, Kismet. White van,
Tiny.
Kismet. White van, Kismet.
Tiny, General.
We saw him in the back. Yo, he saw his war machine, right?
No, we
No,
killed
use
him.
it. Short and tiny.
Alright, we're coming. Play your life.
You're both there.
Long.
Nice, we
Oh,
spun out.
I got a dead slide.
Dead.
Yo, I got streaks again.
Alright.
Nice burst.
Yo, I'm 80
I have
off.
hell.
I'm 80 off a Hellstorm.
Yeah.
I'm about to bait what he
We have any
is.
stuns or anything?
I'm mid 10 right now.
I have nade. I can try. Actually, we could get an orange.
Should
We
cut
get orange
towards
control.
first, yeah.
Yeah.
Yo, in orange set. I'm about to bait you.
He ran in.
Window.
Wait, there's two orange. There's one more orange.
Found.
I'm about to grab
No, two orange. I have a
orange.
landing. I can bomb this shit.
We spawn first.
One shot
I
in
can bomb
hill.
this shit.
I'm pinching orange.
I'm pinging.
He pushed me mid.
Two in orange.
Dashi set at 23-9, owns himself another lightning. Couldn't get the Hellstorm. He's 6, ready and waiting. Over towards Fountain. The lightning will be used here. It finds 2, it finds 3. Damage done. Optic in the hill. E6 spawning out.
General, though, was able to cut through yellow, so he's able to pick up 2. Frosty in the back, though, does get cut down, so the Hellstorm, or Lightning Strike, excuse me, ends up being a perfect use. Optic Gaming, of course, reclaimed the lead on the last hill. They're trying to rocket it up as much as possible. TJ starting to heat up just a little bit as well, is able to get 2 kills. Of course, those final 20 seconds. Well, E6, it looks like they might fight for it. Chino, actually, yeah, just wins that one gunfight. He's inside. Those players are yellow, but he's just chipping away time. Like, that's what, 3, 4, 5 seconds that Optic doesn't get that goes the way E6. And, of course, his teammates are able to get the full setup anew, and you got the Purifier.
Now you just have to win the gunfights. Simple as that. As Frosty teetering on the edge of the doorway. There's the first. Can't find the second. Optic have been very good at breaking in over towards barrels as General forced you the Tempest. There's the first, looking for the second, connects with Dashi. Is there any more from Optic Gaming? Bear in mind, he could get close to some streaks. No Grav Slam used by Optic Gaming, despite a potential chance. Finally, General drops. Optic Gaming flying in the hill once again. 165, 141. Purifier used. TJ with the Grav Slam, though, could maybe make the play if he needs to. Instead, though, it's Kismet that picks up the double. Trades back and forth.
And this is quite a bit invested from E6, but they're holding on to the Barrels Hill as well. But another wave of gunfights. Kismet with 2. His teammates are there. And I think there's just one more Optic Gaming player left fighting for it. TJ gets cleaned up, shot in the back, and at the end of this, E6, again, invested quite a bit. I was going to say retake the lead, and then Crim6 hits old. He's able to win 1, so no lead change coming in. And now you got a player, for E6 that ends up just stuck at the end while TJ's winning gunfights. That challenge for Crim6 actually might be pretty big.
TJ still, again, with the Grav Slam, somehow not even looking at Diabolic, gets the shot punch. This Grav Slam could really put this game to bed if he uses it correctly. Of course, he has plenty of time, but fly straight out, only finds 1. That's Frosty. He will fall. Optic Gaming, broken, but Dashi trying to give another go. Crim still mid-map, has the support of Karma. 38 seconds, Hill still going to be contested. And honestly, E6, if they hold this and hold the spawns, which you can see Chino, number 3 on the minimap, doing a good job just wrapping all the way back. Optic could be in trouble.
Yeah, so you got to keep an eye on Karma. Does he want to rotate, or do his teammates want to rotate? Do you force it at all? Because at this hill right now, it is all E6. They're trying to force it in. Frosty just giving him the hands, letting him know. Once again, though, Optic Gaming does hit that all time. It's TJ in the hill, who, by the way, picked up 3. So nice time to come their way, but it's all about the rotation as well, which Optic Gaming, they're there early. Couple players from E6 spawning out. This is where you make the play.
The problem I was going to say is you could potentially pinch here for E6, but Diabolic falls, as does Frosty. Now it comes down to Kismet. He has earned himself another Grav Slam, and he managed to really play very well on that last hardpoint. He's given him this slam, and it looks like he's going to set it up. This really could be the play. Only connects with 1. Contested the hill. Tempest is out from Dashi. Optic still with barrels control. Doesn't even need to connect with a second teammate there. Optic Gaming retake control. And with 30 seconds left, they can not close it out here, Chance, but they can almost put it out of reach.
And of course, E6, they're going to have to fight desperately for this time, which means the rotation is going to be tough. They have sent one player on the rotation, but if you don't get inside this hill, it is going to be nearly impossible to come back. Karma's able to pick up 2. The contest is in, if not the break of the hill, which they do get. Of course, though, when you put that much emphasis on the old hill, rotating to new is going to be difficult. While Optic Gaming right now, they got 3 players that are sitting waiting in the back. They got all their bases covered. Someone for E6 is going to have to go crazy and make a big play.
Only saving grace here is that, again, those kills in transition. You can really force Optic Gaming to spawn so far out, but you have to break the hill as quickly as you possibly can. Karma trying to delay any pushes over towards the backside of the map, but it's the front of the hill where the gunfights are being won by E6. For Chino, he's pulled out the War Machine. Flak is out. Karma will drop. Spawn control temporarily in E6's control. As Crim slides on in towards the hill, he will fall. Optic being forced to try and break from the front, but again, gunfight's now being won by them. It's Dashi who gets a double, survives with 6 health, but Optic Gaming can end it here.
They tried to make the play with the War Machine in the back, which did a lot of damage, but might not be enough, and TJ picks up 2. Optic Gaming get the first win on board. And while the hard point struggles for E6, maybe still there.
And was there any specific moment there that stands out to you as this is where that game went kind of out of control for E6 and Optic really took over?
I wouldn't say moment, but like 2 themes. One, Dashi got streaked out like twice, and if you're getting streaked out, I think he goes on an 11 spree, then like a life or 2 later goes on like a 6. Tough to deal with Dashi, but then 2 kind of key moments is Crim6 hits hold at barrels. I think he did it by himself as well, and of course E6 sends a couple players on the rotation, 2 bodies in the hill, and he ends up winning the gunfight, and that just chips away at the time. And then TJ does the exact same thing at P1 on that final rotation, while his teammates were actually winning the rotation over towards P2. And again, that's just stripping away 10, 15 seconds away from the opponent that you get themselves. Those are massive swings, honestly. Like, it's small things, but if you do them repeatedly, it really does add up. So those are 2 kind of key moments for me.
Okay, absolutely agree with you there as well. Here's a quick glance towards the end of the game, and this is where it looked for a moment as if E6 had a chance. Chino, of course, forced to use the War Machine, does find the kill onto Karma as well, and all the other fights towards the front of the hill, it looked like this was their chance.
Yeah, but of course it was like the Saw duo towards the end. Scump and TJ just repeatedly picking up kills. I think TJ probably goes big. He kept an eye on the kill feed. He picks up at least 2 on there. He's on a 4 spree. There's number 5. So you talk about a man that needed to step up, and he did so. Of course, even when TJ falls, now the reinforcements are in, and you get the spawns, and everything eventually goes right for Optic.
A 34 and 19 performance, or 20 there as Dashi falls right at the very end. But Optic Gaming up 1-0, and Jess caught up with Karma before the game.
Thank you, Ben. Yeah, and I gotta say, he is just not in a good mood today. He was not happy about the way they played at Fort Worth. He said, yeah, we played like crap. He said, hopefully we fixed a lot of things that went wrong. Hopefully. He was not speaking with the air of a lot of confidence. He did not sound like he really was too happy about this. He did say it's nice to be back here at the Pro League, but he also kind of said, we're not really sure what to expect. The first 2 teams we're playing are what we think are 2 of the better teams in their division, so we'll see. Over on the side of Enigma6, I caught up with Kismet, and his attitude and his energy and reaction could not have been more different. He's coming in saying that they are so happy with how they placed at Fort Worth. He said, yeah, we played really well. We think we're a top team. He's coming in also saying that he feels they have a lot to prove to the fans and to the other teams here. He feels that other teams maybe didn't feel as though E6 did deserve to be at Fort Worth, and he wants to prove them wrong. So he's feeling good coming into this match. Let's see how the rest of the series goes. Back over to the casters.
Thank you very much, Jess. And it's interesting, right? Because you hear the players talking a little bit about their results over towards Fort Worth, and you have E6, very, very happy, top 6, Optic Gaming, very, very upset. But how things are so different when we talk about the Pro League chance.
Yeah, so I mean, Optic went 4-3 when they were playing with a sub, which honestly is pretty good. But more importantly, the way that division is panned out, it's kind of chaotic. Like Luminosity, I think, is only at 5 wins. So if Optic wins this series, or wins one of their next 4 series, which I got all week to do it, then at worst case scenario, they're like tied for like 4th place. Like, they're almost guaranteed to be in that top half, assuming they even like play poorly this week.
Right.
So they're in a phenomenal spot in terms of seeding for the next open events, London, whatever it's going to be. And then E6, I think, is like 3 wins down. Like, the Division B is so stacked, like top heavy right now. And then some of the teams that are above E6 are Splice and 100 Thieves, who are also going to be playing this week. Splice got to win. So they have to make up for like a 3-win deficit against teams that are probably going to be winning at the same time. So in terms of Pro League, E6 is in a bit of a hole, and Optic Gaming in a pretty good spot. but then you got flip moods for either team. And then, of course, at the end of the day, like, if you want about seeding for London, like, even a good seed, you might end up in some random pool of death. So just small things to think about.
Yeah, the pools for London, how exciting that is going to be towards the end of this week, figuring out where all the teams are going to fall. But you're absolutely right. There's no guaranteed kind of safe pool as maybe there once was way back when in Call of Duty. As it stands, Optic Gaming 1-0 up. We're heading now over to Search and Destroy Hacienda. General from E6 just finalizing his class. Just wants to make sure he has all of his bases covered.
And of course, I think Hacienda, this is kind of Kismet's map, if I remember correctly. Lee's back at the PLQ. He was the guy that was playing by himself constantly on an island, but at the PLQ was making massive plays. Had some ridiculous S&D KD, cuts through mid-map on this map constantly and finds those holes, but it hasn't panned out recently for him. So now the question, even like Optic Gaming has to think about it, what is Kismet going to do? Do we have to be concerned about our flank constantly?
Sure.
Is he going to switch up and play with his team? So a lot for both teams to think about.
It definitely is, and it's funny because in terms of playstyle, you talk about Island, Kismet definitely one that comes to mind, Crim6 as well, but for me, Optic Gaming, I'm looking at TJ. I want to see TJ have one of those massive TJ-like Search and Destroy performances.
I think that's fair, right? Like TJ and Dashy, well, obviously because they're both stellar players, but more importantly, it was that S&D that was supposed to be like the game changer. Like Optic Gaming, always been fantastic respawn. The S&D has struggled. They're supposed to be the Search and Destroy wizards. And TJ, well, at least at Fort Worth, granted, not many of them did, but didn't really show it. A lot of players stacked up mid-map, though. General with the first blood, and TJ does not trade in kind.
That was the exact perfect way of starting this game, right? Kismet shuts down TJ, the player that you said, watch out for him, always being the playmaker. A good opening for E6, and now they find themselves with numbers. It's 4 versus 3, but you've got to use numbers to get more numbers, and, well, that's not going to happen. As Crim shuts down Chino, 3 versus 3. Bomb is planted. Minor advantage to E6, but E6 trapped over towards Rock, and, well, there's Crim collapsing in from mid-map. Diabolic is able to at least trade. It's now a 1v1. Karma goes for the challenge, and Karma doesn't win the fight. It's Diabolic that somehow, throughout all of that chaos over towards Rock, stayed alive.
I mean, it seemed like perfect teamwork for Optic for a moment. You got 2 players sliding up on bomb, baiting and switching perfectly. Then you're like, oh, Crim6 cutting through mid. This is the perfect situation. But you can see Diabolic gets away with the bullet. Then Crim slides through the door. And, of course, the reinforcements for E6 were in.
8 health.
All you need.
So close, but Diabolic making plays in round number 1. Advantage E6 here in the search. And that was something that we talked a little bit about. We know E6 and their hardpoint woes. It started the year, it was Search and Destroy. After the PLQ, that is. And boy, oh boy, have they improved in that. This is going to be a key map for me that they must win. They want any chance of taking this series. There's a quick glance over towards Karma. You can see he's watching the left-hand side corridor. Meanwhile, his teammates, they've all pushed over towards the other side of the map. Bomb will be being planted over towards B. I don't think there's anything E6 can do to stop it.
E6, you got Chino playing on an island. I don't even think he spotted that player in water. Everyone else is flanking. Dash is going to be here. Needs a little bit of help. Spots the players in the back. So Scump is out on the rotation. And Scump is able to trade out the first kill, but there's a lot more coming in. Chino sniffs out Crim6, but does he get traded? No, Karma cannot find him. Of course, bomb down 2v3. E6 that are looking to swarm.
And Karma's actually played that very, very well. Trying to stay alive and wrap mid-map, but it's been red. That says TJ's positioning, and that is everybody dead. Now it just comes down to who would like to take the defuse. Well, Chino at 575 away. They're going to give it to Frosty, not necessarily because of streaks, more so because of vision.
And I like that call. I think Vision Pulse is, it's one of those late game. You're going to get it round 8, 9, 10, even 8 kind of at the earliest. So you feed it to this guy. So if you get in those clutch situations, well, you can see through walls. You can pick which bomb site you want to go to.
Yeah.
It is so nice to have Vision Pulse. And I will say, I think Optic Gaming did a fairly decent job trying to respond to the pressure from E6, like 4 in the back. Dashy baits his life, waits for the help from Scump, who trades out a couple kills. But, of course, they gave up the bomb site for free because they trusted their ability to retake, and E6 made the right call.
Definitely did. And they take that early advantage and double it. 2-0 up here in game 2. Obviously, a couple of players working towards streaks. Still a long way to go. Is this going to be E6 just flying straight through the middle of the map? That looks like the game plan. Kismet is already hit. Down low connector. And he could be causing some problem over towards fences. Meanwhile, Diabolic, the man who in round 1 played very, very well, will fall. And now it comes down to that Kismet play. Straight through mid-map. What else can he find, though?
Should be able to find at least one player to shoot in the back if he goes quick enough, but he doesn't cut mid yet. And meanwhile, his teammates are falling. And now, of course, Optic Gaming, I think they're going to be a little bit more concerned about the flank, but it looks like it's going to be General that has to deal with the pressure. Should have spotted the player, but he has an ICR, wins the gunfight. Kismet, by the way, wrapping back to help. So General might get traded because Dashy's underneath, but Kismet should be here to get the next kill, able to find it. Now you got a 1v1. Kismet and TJ Halley. 30 seconds left.
Well, Kismet, the Search and Destroy superstar. TJ, a Search and Destroy 2 superstar as well. The difference is TJ currently 0-2 to TJ's 3-1. Bomb down. For Optic Gaming, TJ may have to just hop the bomb. It's a play which could work out. Depends how quickly he wanted to do it. Kismet has planted for office. TJ, of course, knows that. He's going to try and sniff out Kismet's location. For Kismet, it's all about just playing time here. He only has to peek the bomb, doesn't have to do anything crazy. And I believe TJ has now been spotted in for Kismet. You don't have to take the gunfight, but you do have to jump out the window. Now forced to pre-fire. TJ takes the fight, wins the fight. That, ladies and gentlemen, is choking, jumping out of a window.
Hands shaking just a little bit. Maybe the nerves kind of creeping in, but honestly, that was expertly played by Kismet right up until he missed the window.
Pretty important part there, really, of that whole scenario, that whole 1v1. But credit, really, for me, goes to General in that round. The pre-fire down low after he finds the first pick up top, which was a hard gunfight to take with the ICR, connects with enough bullets where Kismet can just slide through and trade. That read, understanding, I know I'm going to be pushed. Is it going to come from up top? Is it going to come from down low? Pre-firing, really smart stuff. But it doesn't matter. Optic Gaming, clutch up, and it's the Iceman that wins the round.
And those are the rounds that he absolutely needs to win. Obviously, you're down 2-0. That's not a great spot. You need to turn things around. But more importantly, again, the man to highlight needs to kick it up and Search. By the way, Crim6 rocking 0. Didn't even realize that going on. Well, if he earns it, it is incredibly annoying to deal with to the side of E6. But so are stuns. Kismet able to find one. Scump trying to get out with his life. Actually, Karma's there with him. Bodies just dying left and right. Advantage E6. Scump tries to make the play. He gets cut down.
2v4. Surely this one is over. It is Frosty with the double. And one thing to know, if you kind of look at how E6 have evolved in Search and Destroy throughout the year, if you just take a look at that play from Kismet, right? He pushes down low, finds the pick and connector, and he knows he's stunned Karma, and he knows Karma's there. 2-3 months ago, he pushes that. He tries to take that fight and may give away his life. The new Kismet, for me, values his life way, way more than we've seen in the past, and I think that's one of the reasons E6's Search and Destroy has improved so much.
And if that's accurate, you got to keep in mind, at PLQ, you could do that. Yes. It might be successful.
Yes.
It's a little bit different beast here in the Pro League. Teams will be much quicker on getting those trades, but either way, another very nice round for E6 to get under their belt. But obviously, Search and Destroy was never their problem back at Fort Worth. Maybe in the past, it was. But this is where they have been clutch repeatedly so. And, well, they got a couple more rounds to win. First blood goes the way of Diabolic. Karma just going to get taken down.
Oh, Diabolic does so well just to stay alive. Dancing around Rock, but Kismet meets a shot punch from TJ, who, once again, wins that mini 1v1 battle, but still 4v4. Crim's in trouble. Crim will fall. It's General crocodiling in the water. Almost found Scump as well, but it's a trade there. Well, surely as Diabolic goes for a bit of a scuba dive, he finds Scump. Also very close to the Tech 5. It's a 2v1. It's down to the other young man on the squad. And he's already been sniffed out. Dashy's staying alive, though. 35 seconds left. The problem is if Chino doesn't get close here towards Diabolic, Diabolic could be in a lot of pain. As again, the gunfight comes through. Dashy trapped between both players. Reads the situation very well. Wins the first gunfight. Can he slide away in time? No, he can't. Chino hunts him down.
That is a stressful round, but again, a good one for E6 to get. And I think the best part was what? Diabolic not going for the bomb plant. Yeah. He knows Chino's way in the back of the spawn. You have the information. Your only job for Diabolic is to not die from mid-map, which of course he does manage to get to the bomb as Dashy's coming through, and then you play the 2v1 pretty well. So just I think the first bloods have been the key situation the entire game so far for E6.
Let's not forget, if Kismet can jump out of a window, this could be 5-0.
Very true.
This could be a very ugly game of Search and Destroy. It's not, though. It's 4-1. Optic needing to make plays now on the attacking side. There's Chino top middle. What is he going to be able to spot? Well, a lot of pressure comes mid-map, and Optic fly through, take control of the site, but here is Chino up top, and all of a sudden, a 5v3, you blink and it's a 3v3, and this could be even worse for Optic Gaming because Frosty putting down some shots. TJ has found a nade kill. Crim shuts down Frosty, and those kills coming in at the perfect time because General was flanking. Now, the 1v3.
Honestly, now you just might want to get off the map as quick as possible because they can just shoulder peek forever. You get the bomb plant down. 1v3, it's very difficult, if not impossible, round for General to win, but he's going to go for it, see if he can connect with anything. Of course, while he's doing this, TJ might just earn his grab slam. Or he's going to be creeping up on it as well. 28 seconds left, hasn't found a thing.
Spots General. General weak. General goes for another jump across, but has to take his time to heal. And this is all but time before General falls. Optic get their second round on the board. 4-2, still advantage E6.
And I think, what, just a good opening break? Sent like
Yeah,
three
much
bodies,
better.
if not four, up through the
much
top hallway. Scum baits out his life to get the players on Rock distracted. And then still nice plays had to be made by Optic Gaming through the hallway, but the plays were successful. So good bounce back round. And I think we've been almost perfect with get first blood, win the round.
Yeah.
Almost.
It seems that way.
Yeah, with possible one exception. But I think other than that, we're at least 5 or 6.
TJ working towards some streaks of his own. At 425 has slam. You expect to see that grab slam make its way over towards A, and if there is a quick push from E6, he could be in some trouble. Instead, E6 spread the map, playing for information, playing to see if they can maybe get a free kill, and then work their numbers. Bomb finally starts to push over towards B, but I hear a big call out there from Crim6. He spotted something. General could be in some trouble. Is it going to be Crim that's in trouble? Well, there's the kill. General falls. Advantage Optic.
I would not be surprised if that TAC 5 gave it away. If that sound cue made Crim6 turn his head around, because Crim6 definitely can hear everything that's nearby. Of course, Kismet does get the trade. Honestly, for E6, you kind of got bodies all over the map. It's kind of an awkward situation for Optic. I don't know if they're going to be expecting any of this to come in. Diebox cleared everything out. Should be able to kill TJ. Has another player connector. Spots the information. Karma's going to be trapped in between a couple players, but Diebox plays it slow. He gets picked off, and Karma, well, he's just going to do his best to survive. Kismet's able to trade him out, but 18 seconds. Kismet, though, he's able to win, too. You still got to get the bomb. You know where Crim is, and Kismet really wants to kill him, and he doesn't. Now Crim6 is able to get away. Chino, though, should be able to plant this bomb.
Yep. And that's the problem for Crim. He has to concede the bomb plant. Nothing he can do. Another 1v1 in this search and destroy. For Chino. He just has to patrol, make sure Crim doesn't hop on that bomb. Crim, of course, lucky mid-map. Time is of the essence. 30 seconds. Of course, this kill and defuse be mighty helpful for Crim in his streaks. He spotted Chino, and he almost has Chino dead to rights. Chino plays the corner. Chino somehow wins the fight. Beanie Chino, a whole new Chino. The power of the beanie right there.
All right, so JP definitely needs to do some advanced stats.
Yes, I need to know his stats with that beanie on his
like normal Chino. Fantastic player. You throw the beanie on, that's like LeBron in playoffs, which obviously not happening this year, but for Chino, it very well may be with the beanie.
I heard Davis scream, it's his new gimmick.
I would hope so. Nice 1v1 win. TJ won his, but then Chino gets the best of Crim.
Wow.
The difference maker of the round.
Unbelievably close rounds that we've seen in this search, and well, advantage E6, 5-2. It's a big lead, and Frosty looking to connect, and I mean, that's just not the best start to a round of search and destroy. The grab slam invested, everybody else basically falls, a team kill comes through. It's a 2 versus 1. After all the immediate chaos, it's all down to Mr. 3-time. Think, Karma, what can you produce? Of course, he is on the attacking side. Frosty in general, up 3-6. As Karma tries to wrap the map. Hasn't found anything just yet. Little does he know. Both E6 plays over towards the B site. 40 seconds. And Karma, of course, has to go for this round. It is E6 at map point, and that is almost blessed timing. As he gets to the B site, as he starts to plant, E6 rotate away. Karma might just do this.
He plants so he can watch it from mid. E6 doesn't know it yet, but they're going to be double challenging up top. That is absolutely worst case scenario for Karma. So all that tension, all that build up for literally nothing to happen. And General going to have a little bit of fun with his teammate.
Nice accuracy, General.
Why not? See, now you got to shoot everywhere else to pretend like you weren't trying to hit
Yeah,
back.
of course.
Like, nah, guys, I'm just messing around.
No, I was just, you know, shooting a scare. As E6 win the search and destroy, tie things up 1-1. We have a series on our hands now, Chance.
Is exactly how all of their series went at Fort Worth. You lose map number 1, then you just win. It's the 2-3-5. It's the old school 2-3-5. E6 are trying to pull that off once again, and if they can get a respawn win, they could very well take this series.
Playing Search and Destroy as clinical as that 2-3-5 special might just work. Hell, I'm sure they'd even take a 2-4-5 special at this point. Just win a respawn at any cost. But as it stands, E6, Optic Gaming, the third game of the day. We're all tied up at 1-1. We'll be back with game 3 after this. It's E6 Optic Gaming series tied 1-1. This is a series which can go back so far in time. Not necessarily one of the biggest rivalries, but it's definitely a rivalry. That's for sure. Optic E6 1-1 as we said. But here's where it gets interesting, Chance, because heading into game 3, both teams are pretty good at control.
Yeah, so you talk about that like 2-3-5 that E6 needs to take, but 5-1 at control at Fort Worth. So it's not like they were bad at respawn. It's hardpoint struggling. Control was just fantastic. But on the flip side, Optic Gaming 4-1. So you're placing top 12. You're not winning series, but your control is still on point. So this is honestly the map that might decide the entire thing. If Optic Gaming wins this, you imagine they're good for the hardpoint. They get that nice 3-1. If E6 takes this, you're thinking worst case we see a map 5 for them, because who knows what even happens in the next hardpoint. Like you never know. You can't count E6 out at all.
And again, to reiterate the importance in terms of the standings in the league, it's the very much opposite for both of our two teams. Optic Gaming 1 win, and I think it's like guaranteed like top 3, top 4, and that's 1 week throughout the entire week. So plenty of games for them. They're looking good in terms of seeding. And then for E6, they've struggled thus far. The other teams that are ahead of them are here as well. More than likely, they'll be picking up some wins along the week. They need wins desperately if they want to guarantee themselves playoffs.
And I wouldn't say desperate necessarily, because I don't think they're desperate. Like you heard, they're feeling confident.
They're feeling confident because they came off a top 6 win.
Right.
Oh, sorry,
that's the point. They're not desperate because I think now you get top 6, you're confident in your team, you're like, okay, even if we get a bad seed, we go in a tournament. We know we're going to be capable, but you still want it for when it comes to playoffs. You don't want it
I was going to say,
bottom.
You can play well at all the open events, but if you're not in playoffs, it's like, winning an event isn't going to guarantee you playoffs.
Well, avoiding the play-in bracket at the very least.
Yeah, exactly that, right? Just finish top 4. That's all you really have to do. And for E6, a win here is going to give them a big boost to that. And we'll see if they're able to do it, because the control, Chance obviously mentioned the stats, a 5-1 team at control with a 4-1 team in control. This really is going to be the decider, or potential to be the decider. It's going to be a frequency. We go further, frequency and payload. Just as we didn't really talk about at the start of the series, Chance, the final 3 maps, if they go that distance, what are your thoughts?
I think whoever wins this map wins the series. Like, that is my thoughts.
Okay.
I think Optic Gaming is going to be good for the frequency hardpoint.
Sure.
Maybe not by a mile, but I definitely give them the edge. And then the payload, I don't know. I just think E6 have been really put together in Search and Destroy. They seem to have figured things out. And it's
polished.
You think about payload and be like, oh yeah, Dashy's amazing with the sniper. Frosty's not bad. Like that last round we saw, he was hitting some nice shots.
Yeah, I think
ripping
2
people off of headies. He's at least going to be able to put up a fight. So I think this is the most important map we have, Ben.
Absolutely right. Couldn't agree with you more. We started off on board with E6, and it's a good start for them. 2 kills, responded instantly by Optic Gaming, but more importantly for E6, the first tick into the B zone. Going to be able to get more, though. That's the question. Over half. Dashy goes down over at Pipes, and well, there's the second tick. Could they get more chance? Well, absolutely they can. They make it all 3.
Of course, General's going for the split push. General, though, he's going to be in between 3 players. Needs to take one with him. He does not. Frosty is now also by himself. A team kill, though, does come in, and he's got these players stunned out. Able to win 1. Obviously knows the second is inside.
Frosty.
And at the very least, he stayed alive long enough that his teammates should be close to helping him out. Eventually does get taken down in Optic Gaming. Well, they do have map control. They have stabilized just a little bit.
Frosty did very, very well. If his teammates were able to get there a little quicker, it could have been one of those scrappy fights over towards you. Just a lot of contesting. Instead, it's a 24-21 life advantage for E6. Now the push is going to come through. Crim with 1. Dashy not able to find anything. In fact, it's my mistake. Does find General, but Chino with 2. As the contest again comes through. Karma looking for the pick, not going to find it. We start some progression now over towards A.
Yeah, that wide challenge can be brutal if anyone's posted up, just waiting for it to happen, so he gets dropped. Dashy, though, on the uptake, only able to take down 1 with him. Full control right now for E6. You gotta fly in. The grapple gun is gonna help him out to get bodies in the hill, but everyone's dying. Crim6 by himself now. He falls as well. E6, round number 1, is all theirs, and it wasn't even close.
Yeah, really wasn't. Even when Optic were able to set up over towards A, it was broken very, very quickly. I mean, Frosty almost made the play by himself. Yes, he had the assistance of a stun and a couple players not using tap mask, but either way, a very good opening round there for E6, and it all started with that massive aggression towards B. They get the cap very quickly, and I mean, when you do that, you get the momentum. It's very, very hard to defend.
And it's not only that, like having the aggression over towards B, but I think Optic Gaming spent at least 1 player through A to go and try to spawn kill.
Yeah.
But E6 took care of them as quickly as you possibly could, and I think they did so without even having anyone fall. So you take care of that guy, now you get free clearance on the map. Meanwhile, your teammates are winning gunfights inside the hill. So that is a round of anything that could go right does go right. Now for round number 2, Frosty wants 1 more thing to go his way. 50 points off of streaks.
EKA, the stun assist, anything. As Optic say, anything you can do, well, we can do better, if not just as good. The B push off the rip already. That first tick locked in, looking for more. DJ's pushing very far up. General read it. The trade comes through. Again, keep your eye on Frosty's streak progression. Never mind, he's dead. Now it comes down to Diabolic at 325. Kismet's close as well, but B is gone. That is going to be capped up. Optic Gaming with 2 minutes 15 to cap A. I think we're all going to be square at the end of this 2 minutes, Chance.
Well, the problem is for Optic, they don't have a ton of map control because a couple players are pushed into their base. And of course, that's a gunfight Crim6 needs to win, but Kismet has the SOG. And actually, as you say that, well, they take care of business. Now you got bodies inside the hill. A couple players from E6 are here. Karma stunned for what seems like an eternity. Still alive, though, inside the hill. The lightning strike comes in, because, by the way, Dashy getting more streaks, it seems. He's got that. The gunfight's inside the hill. Comes down to the 1v1. Crim6 eventually able to come out on top. They get the clearance, but E6, for the moment, has stabilized. Of course, they did give up that lightning.
Dash shot punch just to secure the streak. But is the streak even going to be enough? It's a 16-16 life count as Chino and the boys from E6 fly straight towards Optic Gaming's base. They could be in some serious trouble here, maybe getting spawn trapped a little bit, or if nothing else, just losing a lot of lives, maybe unnecessarily, as Kismet slides across once again. Optic Gaming players coming off spawn, and Kismet being just so annoying to deal with. He finds another kill before falling, but even with all of that, it's still a 12-11 game. Make that a 10-10 game. As a flank comes through from Optic Gaming, they get inside the A zone, only to be contested, but it's Dashy, the shot punch king, it seems, who finds his way into the zone again. Tempest is available, doesn't need to. Why? The man can shot punch, the man can kill everything in sight. Can he find 4? No, he can't. Finally drops. E6, though, break right back in.
4v5, you get one more shot, make it a 3v5, you get a couple kills, and Optic Gaming could pull this off, but honestly, it might just have to be TDM at this point. You need an opening break, and you have the lightning strike if you want to spawn kill potentially, and well, nothing to spawn in, so I take that one back. But you still have to find these kills. You need to find this opening pick.
And Chino has War Machine, Kismet, Slam, Diabolic, Tech 5. Do you invest to secure the win? It's a 5v3. You'd love to win this round without investing anything. I mean, Tech 5 would surely be the first to go as Chino gets a scump. Now, you probably don't even need to invest anything whatsoever. You have all your angles covered. It's a 5v2. Chino with all the info on Dashy. Actually in a pretty rough spot as Kismet now allowed to fly forward. Doesn't want to needlessly give away his life. Optic with 30 seconds to clutch up what would be a unbelievable round of control.
Yeah, and E6 have just, they've played it too smart. They've played it way too patient. They read the flank. They did everything correctly. Didn't throw away a single life. And it's a well put together team. It's a 1v3 with 18 seconds, Ben.
Oh, he's going to use the
nade
as well.
Actually. Yeah, you're right.
Hold on a minute. Karma looking to really clutch up.
There's no
gonna happen.
There's
no.
no.
I saw the nade and I thought if he gets lucky, maybe he slides in, he hip fires, he makes it a 1v2. But not gonna be the case. E6 2-0 up, and they did win that round without having to invest the War Machine. No Attack 5 and no Grav Slam. Do it with the guns. I mean, you expect it, but you never know. Some teams you just feel a little bit better pulling something out, just to be sure.
And again, they did everything right. Like on the opening break, they gave up B for free to try to get Frosty streaks. That was unsuccessful, but then they started spawn killing like crazy. Like Chino with a beanie is a different animal and the same beast, because he was able to get, I think maybe a lightning, or he came close to it. He goes on like a 6 spree. He's making big plays as well. Now you got the Grav Slam with 4 players in front. He doesn't think they're here, but now they are.
He got there.
Does he need to go over top, or do teammates win the gunfight? You don't need the Grav Slam when you got a Frosty. They break on through, 1 tick gone. Optic Gaming coming out of the base.
And this is so scary now for Optic Gaming, because you would have loved for Kismet to invest that just to cap A, but he may actually get this entire A cap for free with the assistance there of Frosty, and now you can use it at B to potentially close out the game. A hasn't been capped just yet. Finally, it goes through. Optic scurrying over towards B, but Diabolic in a position to maybe cause some problems. The stun comes out, but Optic survive for now. They still have to run into the Tempest of General, though, who connects with Dash, he connects with Karma. General not missing. 1.5 ticks, he connects with TJ as well. That's 3 in quick succession. The War Machine is out. The streaks are in. They still have a Grav Slam if it isn't enough. This was a clinical display of control on frequency that wasn't even close. There's the exclamation mark from Kismet. The triple with the Grav Slam. They just blew Optic out the water chance.
They're looking fierce. They're looking very fierce, and if I'm on the E6 camp, I'm feeling very confident right now, because, I mean, my takeaway, 2 minutes ago, at the start of the map, I was saying, whoever wins this map wins this series. But honestly, with E6 looking like that, like, again, you can't count them out of the hard point, because that was just as good as it could possibly get.
And that is the thing, right? If you're an E6 fan out there, you're like, just come on, please. Just fix our hard point, right? If you just fix that, we'll be contending with the best of the best, because their search and destroy, fantastic, right? Their control, definitely top par. It just really has been that game 1 and game 4, the hard point letting him down sometimes.
Again, 3-7 record in hard point, and you still manage to place top 6. That's what I'm saying. You fix that, you break that barrier, you go from a really good team to elite. Like that's the only step that's holding E6 down, and frankly, honestly, if they pull this off here, that's certainly a nice continuation from what we saw at Fort Worth.
And then you have to obviously think about, what we heard from Jess in between game 1 and game 2 when she was talking to Karma, and I believe it was Kismet from E6, saying the kind of mood in the camp, right? Optic coming here after a very, very poor performance. Their head may not necessarily be in it. Karma obviously saying he's a little frustrated with how things went. And on the flip side, for E6, they're feeling great, but here's a quick glance at the Scuff Gaming play of the game from the control. And it's funny because you would have thought, just seeing the start, oh, Kismet with a grab slam, it's probably going to be like a quad or a 5. Doesn't even use it. E6 fly into A. Frosty gets a double kill out of nowhere. And the round is basically over at this point, Chance.
And it's just brutal. And it's one of those points as well that, like, if you start burning all these specialists and you don't get a good use out of them, well, then Optic Gaming has theirs, and maybe they could start to snowball to get back into the series. And then that doesn't happen. You don't need the grab slam. You have the perfect opening break. Then I think you have General with the Tempest. Meanwhile, the hot block being as annoying as always. But General picks up a couple of kills, so you get a good use there. And then you're screwed. You're stuck in your base. You don't have clearance on the outer. You got to cut through winter, but then you got to get past the grab slam and everything else. And of course, I think that third shot on TJ basically shuts it down. You got Chino using the War Machine. So you stop the snowball by pouring in everything and just running the other team over.
Yeah. It was a pretty brutal ending. It really was. And I guess Kismet not investing the grab slam at the start of the round, a blessing in disguise. Not that it really even mattered, because it was General with the Tempest that picks up 4, Chino with the War Machine that found the 5th. It really was just the icing on the cake, the padding of the stats, the triple grab slam.
And now we go to a frequency hardpoint, which, again, if you're Optic Gaming, I think at this point, with the way you just got bullied out, you're thinking, oh, like, maybe Fort Worth, like maybe in their minds, they're going to be like, it was a fluke, we'll bounce back. Right. And of course, you want to go into a week with as much confidence as possible. But any confidence they had after those last 2 maps, you got to feel a little bit rough, because, like, it was just brutal.
And obviously, it's important to mention, we just had Fort Worth, right? You now have just 1 week of kind of LAN games, if you will, to improve upon those poor performances, and then you go straight over to London. Yes, you have 3 weeks to practice online, but it's this, I don't necessarily want to call it practice, but these games on LAN, which are so helpful for the players.
All right. But when all is said and done, it's only a 2-1.
It is only
3-6. As good as their 2 wins are, it's only a map. It doesn't matter if you win 3-0 or 3-2 in the control. A win's a win. Now it comes down to the frequency hardpoint. Optic Gaming trying to bounce back, and that's the opening break they need. Clean 5 down. Everyone in the hill. Surging on forward. By the way, E6 spawning, well, all the way out towards 4th.
And Dashi just flew straight over towards him. Notice one player from E6 actually spawned good. And that was Diabolic. And Dashi has had a great series all game long. It was Scump who really struggled in that last game. I think he finished 7-12 his final stat line. In fact, it was probably 7-13 after that grab slam hit him. But a much better start from him.
I mean, I think Karma was 4-12 as well.
Yeah,
like, no one from Optic Gaming was having a great game. Maybe Dashi had a nice moment trying to get streaks, which he's trying to do again. I think this would be what? If he connects with the Lightning, like the 5th or 6th or 7th, whatever streak he's gotten. In just this series alone, he gets the hill time. He's going to be good to get it. E6, all the players coming around back. He's able to tag up a couple, getting the kills, killing his teammates, trying to stand alive. Gets the Hellstorm, Mr. Do-It-All. 6-0, trying to get spawns for his team as well. What more do you want, Ben?
I mean, how can you lose with this guy on your team? Right, when oh my lord, Kismet, take a seat, son. You just got sat down. Dashi with streaks, Optic with a massive lead after the first hill, and they don't look like they're going to slow down here on P2.
I mean, apparently not. This is just getting insane. Luckily for E6, they got at least 3 points on board, so you've got past the 0 point club. But Optic Gaming,
3 points.
That left side of the kill feed has been nothing but green. You talk about Dashi with streaks. Well, Scump's at 6-1. Everything's going right for Optic. You got 24 seconds to win a rotation.
And you got streaks to aid the rotation as well. Dashi. 3 I mean, what it is. What do you even do at that point? The streaks are going to come through. E6 are in a lot of trouble here, folks. A lot of trouble, let me tell you. Dashi and Karma will find a couple. Dashi actually team kills with the Lightning, but they've already managed to get over towards Balcony, so at least the hardpoint could be contested. Finally, Dashi dies after what feels like an eternity. And E6 can do a little bit of damage limitation. But Optic, they're not slowing down. They're flying straight towards E6.
And I don't know if that's bad communication or just an errant lightning strike that takes down TJ, but that kind of stuffs the first push. But on the second push, he got Crim6, was able to pick up 2, which at the very least gives you clearance for Optic Gaming of pushing him from the front. Of course, they do have a 70-point lead. They're going to get at least a little bit of this time. I think a nade sticks a player, but Dashy maybe just kills him before anything else happens. Dashy finds a third. Dashy finds a fourth.
He's gonna overlap his
He's
streak.
baiting his teammates for good reason. He's killing everything bad.
He's 17-1.
Out of him.
17-1. Gets another lightning. A hellstorm still. I mean, what do you do? What do you do against this?
What's map 5?
Payload.
Okay. What do you think about payload?
Okay.
Maybe Frosty pulls out the sniper here on P4, gets the
Warms
shot
up.
a little bit warm for the next map. Or maybe E6 makes the comeback. You never know.
I mean,
Because Dashy will slow down.
Dashy's controller would need to unplug for the rest of the game at this rate.
Look, he'll slow down because it's impossible to keep up this pace.
You know,
There's simply no way.
You know, you'd think really, wouldn't you? But
I
you
would.
just never know with this young man. His performances throughout the year have been just mind-blowing. I mean, you think about Rookie of the Year. Obviously, last year the conversation was Kenny. I mean, this year it's all that. He's not even rookie. Really, is he?
Rookie,
He played last year, but like just MVP of the year. Just give it to Dashy now because he really is just that good.
Did Gunless die, Ben? Has temp gone away? Because you talk about like average placings.
I don't care.
Off the game.
I've said it in the past. I personally think an MVP, it doesn't matter about your placings. That's just my personal opinion. I think it's how valuable you are to any team that you could put Dashy in. And I think, you're going to get these performances no matter who his teammates are. 22-3. Karma uses the War Machine. So yeah, payload?
Yeah, payload. So we did say before this map started of like, all the hype we were giving E6 up 2-1, yada yada, it's still just a map. Like, it doesn't matter how much you win by, it's still just a map. So if I'm E6, we're thinking, okay, we struggled at hardpoint early on. We were winning these game number 5s. And even if you get completely destroyed here on frequency, it's just a map.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
You know, it's just a player with double the kills of everybody else in the lobby. That's all it is. You can chalk that up and think about your game 5, and it's still worrying for Optic Gaming. By no means is this, they're going to take momentum from this and fly into a game 5 and blow E6 out. Not at all. E6's search, very good, but a couple of those 1v1s go a little bit differently, and you never know. Could have been a closer game, but we can only hope if you're a neutral that you get a closer game, because this game 4, not been close at all.
Imagine how nice it is, like on that third hill when Dashy picked up 4, of like, every single one of his teammates died in a 1v1 gunfight, and then he cleans them up. And imagine listening to those comms like, there's a guy here. Dashy calls out dead, and then the next one dead.
One
and at
here,
the end of
dead.
it, you're like, nice shot, dude. Thanks, man. This is great.
One thing he's going to need to work on, though, is those lightning strikes. Another team kill comes through.
Well, he'll have a lot of practice.
Sure does. He gets him a lot. Gets him enough. There's Optic with the back spawn. Fly into the hill. Shock horror. Dashy wins another gunfight against a 200 health opponent. Chino does finally slow him down with a nade, but it's 186 to 52. This would have to be more than perfect from E6. That's how well they have to play here if they want to come back in this game.
I mean, you can see why E6 is starting to chip away at that lead. Dashy has massively slowed down. He was like 18-2. Now he's only 28-7.
God.
So that's how you're able to get like, I don't know, 20 points on board on a hill.
That's what it correlates to. That'd be an interesting stat, really, wouldn't it? The points you're able to get when Dashy slows down from 18-2 to 28-7. Finally E6 get a little bit of control, but you need full 60. It's just to tie up the game. They've dug themselves in such a big hole thanks to really Dashy's just great start. Really is as simple as that. Slaying with him though. Was at the start 17-9. Should give him some credit for his performance after a very, very slow game 3. He's really turned things around as Optic control the hill again. 206 to 73.
I wonder how annoying that is.
What?
For like Scump to be like, I just had a great game, and like, we are not acknowledging it now, but like, it almost just gets completely overlooked.
I mean, your teammate
like,
has double your kills.
that's what I'm saying. Like, it's
What?
just, oh my god. One man can fry. Kismet in the hill, picks up 2 nice kills, doesn't matter. Nope, Optic Gaming gets the final 10 seconds. They're gonna have a 150-point lead, give or take. Something like that.
About right, as on your head, son. The trophy comes out, bounces off the teammate's head. Still good. Kismet forced to use the grab slam. That sums up their game, really, doesn't it? Tries to slam, doesn't connect with the slam. And did it use the slam? Oh, it used half the slam. That really does sum up E6's game right there.
A lot of things do. The only thing that would top it all off is if Dashy gets like, what,
Another
a
streak.
5-man right at the very end of it. TJ, though, gonna stuff Kismet from getting inside. He picks up 1. Just trying to do our due diligence as Optic Gaming, trying to get these final 12 seconds. Scump, well, he does take the fist to the face, and you got War Machines out, you got everything out, you got Karma picking up 2 nice kills.
It's just, it looks like a different Optic Gaming than what we just saw 10 minutes ago in their game 3.
Well, their hard point scrims have been phenomenal.
Well, snapped onto Chino with the Tempest. Puts it away. There's a kill up top. Hey, fancy one more, Dashi? Yeah, put the exclamation mark on it. Oh, you can't win it here. Took a little too long to take that fight with Frosty as he jiggle peeks, and Frosty wins the fight. But it is now just a formality of the final few seconds as Karma spams the War Machine, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is one of the more one-sided games of Hardpoint you're going to see all week.
That was over from hill number 2.
Yep.
Maybe hill number 3 if you want to be generous, but the storyline for the entire series is E6, hardpoint struggles, seems to be continued. For Optic Gaming, it's been, well, quite the opposite. Of like their control has been good, but obviously not as good as it needs to be. But can they win a Search and Destroy?
That's the question. And of course, you know, we talked about all the stats. The one stat we didn't talk about, me and you, game 5.
Hey, what's up, man?
It just always seems to happen, and we find ourselves first game of the week going to another one. We're back after this with Payload Search and Destroy, E6 versus Optic. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Third game of the day, Optic E6, and it goes the distance. A game 5 search and destroy. It's going to be payload the map chance. It kind of went the way you thought it was going to be. The 2 hard points in the way of the green wall, everything in between thus far to E6. Now, who takes the series?
That's a great question. I mean, again, I kind of want to stick with the theme of I said whoever wins the control wins this series. So maybe an edge to E6. I know they've been decent on payload, but they haven't been as good on payload as they have been at Hacienda, for example.
Okay.
Like you go to Hacienda, I know Kismet's going to be doing some freaky stuff. I know they're going to be getting a lot of first bloods, and I have less confidence in E6 on this map. But still, I think it might give them the edge for the win. So someone obviously needs to pick it up for Optic Gaming. Dashy's obviously been on point. Maybe he just needs to get streaks in every single game mode. And
He's been okay. He's been all right, yeah.
I don't know, like, I don't know how much I want to like focus on TJ, for example, because like at the start of the Hacienda, like he loses that first blood engagement against Kismet, but he clutches his 1v1, so like he's there, but everyone for Optic Gaming needs to pick it up and search. Like everybody. I don't think there's an exception to that. Like not even Bruce has been like good, but I think everyone just needs to be a little bit better. And I have to imagine after Fort Worth, it's one of the things Optic Gaming went and focused on. So
Hope so.
I expect a much more competitive map here on map number 5 than what we saw on map number 2 and 3 and 4. In whichever direction.
Either way, hopefully a good ending to this series. It's been definitely a highlight reel at times, from a dominant game 3 for E6 to, well, anything you can do, we can do better for Optic Gaming heading into game 4. Now the game 5 search. Again, to reiterate, the game 2, you know, you look at the score, it wasn't close, but the rounds, was a lot that went down to 1v1. A couple of things go differently. It could have been very, very close.
It's actually Money Cheen pulling out the sniper rather than
I mean, he's wearing his beanie,
Frosty.
boss.
Beanie Cheen is a different beast. I think he swaps out of it as well. So I think off the opening break, he knows the pressure's coming in mid, which, by the way, the Kismet of old, sometimes he just gets blooded, and well, Karma able to find the second. He did not switch away from the sniper. So there's whiff number 1. In general, has to deal with the entire Optic Gaming team.
That's a lot of pressure coming his way, one of which is Dashy, but to his credit, he scrambles away, but Bomber's gone down. So 3v5 retake. Chino with the sniper rifle. If you're going to get a pick, you've got to get it very, very quickly to make this happen.
Of course, they're just waiting for the pressure to come up back. Once Frosty gets clearance, Chino makes his move, but no one's peeking just yet. Frosty, of course, ICR, not the gun for the job, and this round should all but be over, and everyone's going to fall in kind. You get first blood, you win the round, and again, for E6, it's been a bit of a theme. You live by the Kismet, you die by the Kismet. That round, he goes for it. Just slides straight in into 2 Optic Gaming members that are just saying, yeah, we'll take the free kill, we appreciate it.
You can't get baited like that if you're Kismet. To the point that I kind of made in the game too about just valuing his life a little more. That's an example of him doing pretty much the exact opposite. They're trying to force an engagement, which maybe you don't have to force.
And granted, he's a great search and destroy player.
Yeah.
Like you can try to make a play. He had a teammate there with him, but again, Optic Gaming just responded perfectly to it. Karma even came on the flank through tunnels at the perfect time. So nothing much that you could do if you're E6 other than bounce back in this round, try to get that first blood. Karma passively watching outskirts. Krim is going to be watching everything else. And
well, there's your information. You want to know where E6 is playing. It's going to be an A push. Scump is watching any rotation through mid-map. So E6 a little pinned here. As long as Scump doesn't give this up. Now he gets the information. He's actually spotted one of the players from E6 sliding across. Doesn't necessarily need a challenge, but Kismet put under a little bit of pressure here. 2 players. The first couple of kills come through. He's going to be ran at, but Dashy not able to clean up the kill as Karma escapes with his life. It's a 3v3. TJ, nice little flank there on towards Kismet. Makes it a 3v2. Instantly he's out. General doubles it up.
28 seconds left. The bomb is down, but not planted down, just on the ground. Down. Scum, by the way, has been here forever. You can just see how much of a thorn in his side he is. Karma as well. Comes down to a 1v1, bounces it down. You got a saw, finish the kill. He does. And Optic Gaming get a round win off of some nice plays. Well, from quite a few players. Scump obviously just causing so many problems. He's in connector. E6 has to play slow because they're waiting for him to make his move. And then, of course, Karma just doing Karma things.
That gunfight wins them the round, no doubt. And that's one of those where if you're E6, you're so frustrated. How many shots did you get down? How much damage did you do without finishing either of those kills? Could have massively changed the round if you pick them up just a little bit earlier. But it's not the case. And Optic Gaming go 2-0 up. You said you wanted to see players improve in search. Improve from game 2. Karma 4-1. Tejas 2-1. Scump 3-0. Only Krim looking for a kill. Only one. Might actually find it here. Chino forced to back away. Optic, of course, on the attack. They flooded over towards the B site. Time ticking.
Karma might get shot in the back. He's going back and forth, but he has too many jobs right now. He's got to watch flank because Crim6 gets picked off, but he's also got pressure maybe coming up through mid-tunnels, so he's got to make a play, but if anyone can, it might be him. There's kill number 1. Reading number 2, I think he might have seen the shadow. He should have at least. He's going to be here for it. Frosty, what can he even do? Karma making plays, but still just a 2v2. E6, though. They're split right now, and they got to find a bomb. They got to deal with Karma and TJ. TJ gets bomb checks. Karma, he gets the late flank, and only his information on General, and there both kills come in. TJ, by the way, also makes the play.
Yeah.
Spots out General to call out to Karma, tells him exactly where he is, and then he turns on the player up top steps and wins the gunfight as well. So big plays all the way around. 3-0 Optic Gaming.
Yeah. Remember you wanted that close game 5? Competitive, I believe was the word you said.
Well, you know, it still might bounce back. We haven't. It's been a bunch of close rounds. Every single round has been situational. That's come down to a 1v1 or a 2v2, whatever it's been. And Optic Gaming have been making the bigger plays. It might end up being a blowout. But again, that's what I was saying. I'm less confident for E6 on this map than I was for Hacienda. Although I don't expect 3 players to be 0-3.
I'm not very confident in anyone when Karma's in this form in search. 7-1, making just some good reads overall. But to your point, yeah, Diabolic, Chino, and Frosty all 0-3. General leading the way at 5-3, but needs a little bit of help. And more importantly for E6, they've got to stop the round leading. And that's a nice first blood. Frosty finds TJ. Advantage E6. Of course, they are on the attacking side, though, and they still have to deal with Dashi and a sniper rifle.
Either E6 made a good read or they just simply heard TJ up top. The hit marker's not fun for anybody. Chino dancing with the devil. Scump, though, able to get 1 kill. Might have help for the second. By the way, Dashi's still up top, but all the players trying to push and find him. Eventually, they take down Dashi. Scump, though, in the back the entire time. Able to find a second. By the way, who is on the flank? It's Karma. And you gotta give them both.
Yep, he cleans up both kills very quickly. And a round which looked as if maybe E6 could find their first win. And it's just blown wide open by Optic Gaming. Scump does so well, playing his life, peeking, putting shots down, and of course, throughout all of this, he's buying Karma so much time to flank and get a very free kill and clean up the second.
And it really has been 4 rounds where, like, E6, maybe outside of like getting the first bloods, have been making good plays. Yeah. They have a sniper up top. You don't get picked. You go pour on the pressure, take him down. They do that. It's just Scump made the better play. And then Karma ends up flanking. Like, E6 is doing good. Optic Gaming is doing amazing.
Now Optic Gaming with a lot of utility to potentially close this out. Tech 5 used. Karma has War Machine. Is he going to invest it here? It's at 9-1. TJ's going to fly around the corner with Scump. Kismet with first blood. Another advantage for E6. But how long will this one last?
This is where they just don't need to overchallenge. You get that first blood, you have control, and if you are going to challenge, you make sure you win the gunfight. Chino gets on the board. Gives E6 a 5v3 man advantage, and that bomb is down in the worst spot possible. So now I got a bunch of players, I think, what, only 1 SOG? And then a couple Maddoxes trying to get inside to deal with all these SOG players. Dashi, though, able to find a pick, but then Chino has slowed down, at least in this round number 5.
Bear in mind, Karma's 250 away from streaks here. He's not going to play into his mind as Dashi retrieves the bomb. It's a 2v4. Karma basically saying, all right, Dashi, let's see what you can do. You make it close relatively quickly, and you get bomb down. That might help. Up until then, really looking for a free kill. Can he catch anyone from E6? Napping. Doesn't look like it just yet, at least.
After those first couple kills fall, there's simply nothing you can do. And again, that's just a round for E6 where this time they do connect with the first blood. And I think you saw the idea from Optic Gaming. I think Scump had the information. There's a player shoulder peeking in the back, but then there's a guy up close, which DJ is prepared for. But as soon as he doesn't win that first one-on-one gunfight, there's nothing Scump can do for the trade. And it's just hopeless because if you fly in best case scenario, you get 1 player and then you die. And then what's the difference between a 5v4 and a 4v3? Doesn't really matter. And then, well, Chino just wins the 1v1 on Crim and seals the deal from there. So E6 on the board, but obviously in quite a big hole. To climb their way out.
Yeah, you got a very big mountain to climb to make a comeback here. Possible, just highly, highly unlikely. I guess the saving grace, of course, is the only other player for Optic with their specialist right now is Karma. Scump pushes over towards the B site. First blood, TJ Big advantage for Optic Gaming as it is E6 on another attacking round here.
By the way, the man with bomb pushed up very aggressive, so, or never mind, I take that back. He died on bomb. I thought Kismet had him for a second. Kismet, by the way, just dancing around. They're still trying to hunt him down. They found him. They might not even know that it's him. So trying to make something happen, but at the same time, 5v3 for Optic.
More stuns come out for him. Collapses in with Scump. The War Machine is out. Doesn't even need it. 5-1 Optic Gaming. Talk about a blowout here in the game 5.
You talk about all those competitive rounds early. That wasn't one of them.
No.
That was a
It really was.
that was a round where E6, again, like, sort of tried to get aggressive over towards the bomb, but by the time they did, everyone from Optic Gaming was here. You win the first 2 gunfights, and Kismet was doing what he can, but didn't even win the gunfight against Crim6 up top with the ICR, so one more round. That's all it takes.
Sorry, you close out this game 5, and you start your cross-divisional week very, very well. What's the road to recovery after a really poor Fort Worth? All starts here. I mean, you only need one more round to your point. They played game 5 exceptionally well, and it's mainly down to the performance from the 3-time world champion. 9-1. As Dashi peeks outer. Has to play to his life, stay alive. Don't want to feed any momentum over towards E6. Scump with the kill. Kismet will trade 4v4.
Trying to get any bit of clearance you can, but a lot of players in power positions that you have to deal with for E6, and once you even deal with some of them, then you got Kismet just going to be annoying with that Sog. And well, the rotation's in. You can see players not wasting any time. Chino's going for the wrap back, but he might be here just a little bit late. Of course, Optic doesn't know exactly how many players have wrapped back, but Chino, of course, might just be open for good timing. Crim6 is going to spot him out. Chino just going to get shot in the back. Doesn't even make the read, so this is Optic Gaming 4v3, 23 seconds.
There's saving grace. Kismet with the information on when bomb is going down. Is it going to be enough? Well, Diabolic drops. It's a 4v2. Kismet, you can try and flank all you want. Crim's watching it. Frosty for the clutch. Scump's falling off the map, so hold on a second from a 1v4 to a 1v2. 8 seconds left. If you could stay alive, maybe try and force something. Not gonna happen. Optic just demolished E6 in that game 5.
Those are just brutal 4 maps in a row from either direction. But either way, I think that's a really good win for Optic to get. Like, you know, you have a bumpy map 2, you have a bumpy map 3, but I think you get a win on board. You take down a team that just got, terrible map 3, but you take down a team that just got top 6. You get back into the swing of things. You start your week off right. Even with those 2 terrible bumpy maps, whatever you want to call them, Optic Gaming should probably be happy with that win.
Yeah.
Or should almost definitely be happy with that win.
Most definitely will be. Is I think the story on the flip side there for E6 is, well, you knew what your woes were kind of coming in. They're still your woes, Chance. The hard point's not great, and I mean that payload search and destroy. If you're going to rely on those kind of 2, 3, 5s, as so many teams historically in Call of Duty Esports have, you got to make sure you win the 5s. Otherwise, I mean, you're basically left a sitting duck.
And again, that is kind of like the deal breaker for E6. But if they can get over that hard point hump and maybe not even flip the record from 3-7 to 7-3, but just even break even, then a lot more of these series will start to go their way. And then how much can you improve on top 6? You craft the top 3, maybe you win a tournament. So they're obviously a great team, but they're not quite there. But we got a lot of Call of Duty left to play. A bunch of weeks till London. You got 3 more series this week. So E6 is trying to climb their way through Division B.
Of course, there was one player's first kind of performances here in Columbus, Ohio. It was Dashi from Optic Gaming who came, saw, and he conquered so many streaks for him. And we have Jess down with the PlayStation Instant Reaction with Dashi.
Thank you, Ben. What were you expecting heading into this series?
I expected to win. I always expect to win, but I got a little shaky. The S&D, there's kind of a bug going on in the game. There's like a name glitch, but that's not the reason we lost. That was just one of the things I had to mention. But yeah, they kind of outplayed us on that map. Frequency control, same thing happened. I got a landing strike, couldn't call it in. But yeah, it's whatever. They just outplayed us on both of those maps. We got some stuff to work on, but I'm just happy we pulled through game 5.
Let's talk about that second hard point, which was an absolute blowout. What was going right there for you guys?
On the second hard point, we just like, all right, backs against the wall. We got to win this map. We can't just start off going 0-1 our first match. So we understood that. We played the right way. We're getting a lot better at that map as well. So it's just nice to see results.
So overall, what's the takeaway for you guys here? What do you think is going right? What's going wrong? What do you need to work on?
I think we just got to work on our S&Ds. Obviously, our respawn, our hard point's looking really good. Our control's usually good, but they're a really good control team. Got to give them credit for that. But I mean, yeah, just our surge, I guess.
All right, well, thank you so much. This has been your PlayStation Instant Reaction. We'll be right back after this quick break.
It goes to a Game 5, but that Game 5 was not close at all. Optic Gaming taking down Enigma6 3-2. Nameless, what are your thoughts on Optic's performance?
Well, Dashy had a hell of a debut here in the Pro League. That was an incredible performance, right? Like, they win both hardpoints, and, I was trying to really gauge if TJ and Scump kind of, got rid of that, plague they had with them in Fort Worth when they weren't playing too good. And, I couldn't really tell because Dashy just played so dang good in the whole series. But overall, I think that's a good performance in your first match. Going to Game 5, clutching up, getting that win, obviously that's huge for them. And we'll see, kind of the improvement going forward in their next few matches.
While E6 did lose, again, it went to a Game 5. Was there anything that stood out to you from E6?
Definitely their control. They dominated 3-0. Absolutely world start them. Like, Chino was picking up 3 pieces on the elbow side. Everything was just going on the right for the side of them. Obviously, it was their best game mode going into it. But overall, I felt like their S&D as well. They were 4-5 in it, coming from Fort Worth. And they were able to pull it out 6-2. Unfortunately, obviously, the last map. If you're going into that last map and you pull up the back button and you got a player 17-1 in the 4th map, I just don't know how your momentum is going to shift into that map.
Well, for me, Game 1, E6 had a chance to win that. Not so much Game 4 hardpoint because we saw Dashy just absolutely run them over. But Game 1, they were right in it, and they were like, it was barrels rotation. They had a chance to break, or they had a chance to hold, but instead they had 2 people flood through barrels. Optic broke it and held the rest of the game. Without that, who knows what would happen the rest of the series? But E6 did manage to bounce back right away in that game 2, and they look dominant in that.
Yeah, that game 2, they look great. There was a few times they tried to still send a guy in that solo mission, like General right there. Going Water does get taken out, and it ends up coming down to a 1v1 between Chino and Crim6. Chino wins the 1v1, but it could have been a lot easier round for E6. Kind of wanted to highlight that and show you guys. But there was a lot of, improvement on E6 on the side of just playing their numbers. They did good on that game 2, and then going into this one, I heard Dashy say something in that post-game interview with Jess, like, the game, yada yada, was like not allowing me to do this, but they got destroyed here. Like, there wasn't anything, whatever happened to you and the UI in the game, it did not matter. You weren't winning this. They got pulverized. And it was just a lot of pressure. Like, this was their best game mode going in. They were 5-1. We talked about it in the previous segment where, like, they're going to need to win the control and pick up some steam, on one of those first 2 maps. So everything was looking good for E6 going into the rest of the series, but they couldn't close it out. They couldn't get, one of those last 2 maps.
I mean, that's the benefit of having superstar team, right? Like a full stack superstar roster. You get absolutely body slammed game 3, and then game 4, Dashy just comes out and just does what he does. He just has one of those maps where you're just not winning against him when he has a map like that. And then game 5, Karma went 10-2. He started out 10-1, and I think he had, I want to say, like 6 of those kills he shot people in the back. Karma was just playing so smart in that game 5, and when you have superstars, that's what you get.
Yeah,
different guys that just step up.
Different guy just steps up each game and just makes, takes the weight of the world, puts it on his shoulders, and makes it a lot easier. Throughout the series, it was really Dashy, but Karma in that game 5, obviously showing why he's the 3-time champ.
Well, Scump stepped it up game 4 as well. It's just hard. It's just hard when you have a guy that plays that well to talk about the second guy. Scump played really well too in that game 4.
Yeah, but I mean, there's a lot of pressure on E6 in that control, and that was just well played. I really wasn't expecting them to just dominate a team like Optic, especially on Frequency, who has so much slaying power. To take it to him like that is very impressive. But this map, like, this guy was a demon. I've never.
That's an accurate description.
Like, there's not too many times you see a player just take over like that, like from start to finish. Like, Scump obviously had a pretty good map, Crim as well. But that's like on the heels of Dashy stepping up and opening those lanes. Like, he was obliterating these guys.
So as far as, it's like the only gunfight he lost the whole time right here.
Yeah, it took like 10 seconds.
The hard one. 10 seconds.
If Optic Gaming, if Dashy doesn't have his performances the way he had it in Hardpoint, I feel like it's a different story for the simple fact that TJ just switched his role. He went from a War Machine to a Grab Slam, and I think it's just definitely throwing off his pacing, as we saw in both of the hard points, even in that when he was like 13 and 20. Especially if Scump's your SOG duo, you're playing at a way faster pace because you got that grappling hook now. So like, I'm guessing the inconsistency out of both of them is just like them just working on their timings, because obviously TJ is just a lot faster with the grapple. So in general, just the hard points, if Dashy doesn't have a performance like that, I feel like Optic will actually just not have a chance, to be honest.
Nameless, do you agree?
I don't know if I agree with that.
Yeah.
I think that I think a lot of the players in Optic, like, they could step up anytime, and I also think that they play the game like pretty much the right way. Like, I think they understand how to play as well on top of their gun skill, and that's why they started off that Frequency up so many points, right? They just jam into that first hill, dominate the next hill, and they're up like 90-3 or something, and it spirals out of control for the other team, and then that's when you see Optic sort of running around. So you're like, wow, these guys don't really set up well. It's because they have such a big lead, and the other team's just in pure chaos. But yeah, I think that they play it the right way, and a player cannot play well and they can still win.
All right, we're going to pull up our schedule in